India is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, with a history stretching back thousands of years. Long before modern countries even existed, people were already living in the Indian subcontinent, building cities, farming the land, and creating art and culture that would influence the world. The story begins in the ancient Indus Valley, around 2600 BCE. This civilization was one of the earliest urban cultures. Cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were full of well-planned streets, brick houses, drainage systems, and granaries. These people wrote on seals, traded with faraway lands, and lived in peaceful societies. Their craftsmanship was advanced, and archaeological evidence shows that they had knowledge of hygiene, town planning, and trade networks that stretched to Mesopotamia. But around 1900 BCE, something changed. Maybe it was climate change or a shift in rivers like the Saraswati. Slowly, the civilization declined, cities were abandoned, and the people migrated elsewhere. Soon after, new people known as the Indo-Aryans began arriving. These groups likely came from Central Asia and mixed with the existing populations. They brought with them a new language, Sanskrit, and their religious hymns were passed down orally for generations before becoming the Vedas, ancient, sacred Hindu texts. This period is known as the Vedic Age. During this era, society became more structured. People were divided into four main groups, or varnas, which later evolved into the caste system. The Vedic Age also saw the rise of religious rituals, sacrifices, and early philosophical ideas that would eventually evolve into Hinduism. Thinkers like Gautama Buddha and Mahavira challenged the existing Vedic traditions. Buddhism and Jainism emerged as alternatives, focusing on nonviolence, inner peace, and the path to enlightenment. These faiths spread rapidly, not just in India, but across Asia. Buddhist monks traveled as far as China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, carrying scriptures and ideas. India became a center for learning, with ancient universities like Nalanda attracting scholars from many parts of the world. Meanwhile, political kingdoms were forming. The first large empire in Indian history was the Maurya Empire, founded by Chandragupta Maurya around 321 BCE. But it was his grandson, Ashoka the Great, who left the biggest mark. After a brutal war in Kalinga, Ashoka had a change of heart. He became a follower of Buddhism and dedicated his life to spreading peace and dharma. He sent missionaries as far as Sri Lanka and even Egypt. He built roads, hospitals, and schools, and engraved his policies on rocks and pillars all over his empire. Many of these inscriptions still survive today and offer a glimpse into the administration and philosophy of that time. After the fall of the Maurya Empire, India saw a number of smaller kingdoms and regional powers rise and fall. One of the most significant of these was the Kushan Empire, which played a key role in the Silk Road trade and in spreading Buddhism further into Central Asia. The Satavahanas in the Deccan region promoted trade and learning, while art from this period, especially in the form of sculptures and cave paintings at Ajanta and Ellora, reflected a fusion of cultures. By the 4th century CE, a new power rose in the north, the Gupta Empire. This period is often called the Golden Age of India. Science, mathematics, art, and literature flourished like never before. Aryabhata wrote about the zero and laid the foundation for astronomy. Varahamihira wrote treatises on astrology and natural science. Kalidasa composed beautiful plays and poems like Shakuntala that are still admired today. The decimal system we use today has its roots in this time. Temples were constructed with intricate carvings, and Indian culture spread across Southeast Asia through trade and religious missions. Following the decline of the Guptas, India entered a period of regional kingdoms and frequent invasions. In the north, the Huns invaded. In the south, powerful dynasties like the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas ruled. The Cholas in particular became a maritime power and spread Indian culture to Thailand, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Their temples, like the Brihadiswarar Temple in Thanjavur, are architectural marvels even today. Tamil literature also flourished during this time, with works that explored philosophy, ethics, and love. Around the 12th century, Islamic invasions from Central Asia began. The Delhi Sultanate was established in the 13th century and ruled large parts of India for over 300 years. During this time, many Persian and Arabic influences entered Indian life in language, art, food, and architecture. The Qutub Minar and Alai Darwaza are examples of Indo-Islamic architecture from the period. Sufism, a mystical form of Islam, flourished and promoted a message of love and harmony. The Bhakti movement also grew during this period, with saints like Kabir and Mirabai preaching devotion and unity. In 1526, Babur, a descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan, established the Mughal Empire after defeating the Delhi Sultanate. The Mughals brought political unity to India once again. Akbar the Great, one of their most famous emperors, was known for his tolerance and administrative genius. He tried to bring harmony between Hindus and Muslims, introduced fair taxation, and built a massive empire. Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb followed. The Mughal gave India grand monuments like Humayun's tomb, Fatehpur Sikri, and of course, the Taj Mahal, built by Shah Jahan in memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Mughal paintings, music, gardens, and cuisine left a lasting legacy. However, by the 18th century, the Mughal Empire started to weaken due to internal conflicts and the rise of regional powers like the Marathas in the west, the Sikhs in the north, and the Nizams in the south. At the same time, Europeans were arriving. The Portuguese came first, followed by the Dutch, French, and British. The British East India Company slowly took control through trade, diplomacy, and military power. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, they gained a strong foothold. The company exploited Indian resources and manipulated rulers, gradually expanding their control over large parts of the subcontinent. In 1857, Indian soldiers in the British Army rebelled in what's now called the First War of Independence, or the Sepoy Mutiny. Though it was suppressed, it shook the British. In response, the British Crown took direct control of India. The period from 1858 to 1947 is called the British Raj. The British built infrastructure like railways, post offices, and universities, but their rule also caused deep harm. Indian industries were destroyed, taxes were high, and famine struck several times. Indian farmers suffered, and hand-loom weavers lost their livelihoods due to cheap British imports. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Indian nationalism began to rise. The Indian National Congress was founded in 1885. Leaders like Dadabhai Naoroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak began demanding more rights. Then came Mahatma Gandhi, who transformed the movement with his ideas of nonviolent resistance, truth, and civil disobedience. He led mass protests like the Non-Cooperation Movement, the Dandi Salt March, and the Quit India Movement. Other key figures included Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhas Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and B.R. Ambedkar, who championed the rights of the Dalits, and helped draft the Indian Constitution. Finally, in 1947, after decades of struggle, India gained independence. But it came at a high price. The country was divided into India and Pakistan, causing communal riots and the largest migration in history. Millions crossed borders, and many died in the violence. India chose to become a secular and democratic republic, and in 1950, a new constitution came into effect. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister. The early years focused on building a modern industrial nation. Large dams like Pakra Nangal, steel plants, and scientific institutions like IRWA-ITS and ISRO were established. India remained neutral during the Cold War and became a leader of the non-aligned movement. In 1971, India helped Bangladesh gain independence after a war with Pakistan. The country also faced internal challenges, poverty, communal tensions, and political corruption. During the emergency of 1975 to 1977 under Indira Gandhi, democratic rights were suspended. But democracy bounced back. India saw the rise of regional parties, coalition governments, and economic reforms. In 1991, facing a severe financial crisis, India liberalized its economy. This opened the doors to foreign investment and rapid growth. IT cities like Bengaluru became global tech hubs. The middle class expanded, and India joined the global stage. Bollywood movies, Indian cuisine, yoga, and festivals like Diwali became known worldwide. India tested nuclear weapons in 1998 and grew its influence in global diplomacy. In recent years, India has launched missions to the Moon and Mars, built world-class digital infrastructure, and become one of the largest economies. It continues to face challenges like pollution, income inequality, and political tensions, but its resilience remains strong. With over 1.4 billion people, India is the world's largest democracy, full of youth, energy, and ambition. Yet, India remains a country of contrasts, ancient and modern, rich and poor, deeply spiritual, and boldly scientific. Its democracy is vibrant, though sometimes noisy and chaotic. Its diversity, with over 1,600 languages and every major religion, makes it unique. From the Indus Valley to the digital age, India's journey is one of resilience, creativity, and hope. The story of India is still being written, and the future looks as exciting as its incredible past. Thank you for listening to this journey through time. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from history.